The school bell rang loudly that Monday morning, echoing across the compound like a signal that a new story was about to begin. It was the first day of a new term at Crown Heights Secondary School, a place known for brilliance, pride, and competition. Amidst the cheerful noise, one new face walked timidly through the gate, a slim girl with neatly plaited hair and a small brown school bag. Her name was Adaeze. She had just moved from her village to the city after her father's transfer. Her parents had always told her this new school was one of the best in town, but as she stood before the large white building, her stomach tightened. She wasn't sure she belonged here. When Adaeze entered her new class, everyone turned to look at her. Some whispered, others giggled. The teacher said, with a friendly voice, "Class, we have a new student joining us. Please welcome," introducing Adaeze. "Good morning, everyone," Adaeze said nervously. Before she could finish her introduction, a boy from the back shouted mockingly, "Say it again. What did you just call your name?" The whole class burst into laughter. Her cheeks burned. Her accent, her rural tone, even her clothes, everything seemed to amuse them. From that day, she was nicknamed Village Girl. Every mistake she made was magnified. When she read out loud, they mocked her pronunciation. When she asked questions, they rolled their eyes. At lunch, she often sat alone. Days turned to weeks, and the bullying continued. She pretended not to care, but at home, her pillow soaked in tears every night. Scene 2, the breaking point. "Mummy, I don't want to go back there. They hate me. They laugh at me every day," Adaeze said, distressed. Her mother came close, placing a hand on Adaeze's death. She cried, "They hate me. They laugh at me every day." Her mother came close, placed a hand on her shoulder, and said softly, "My daughter, when people laugh at you, it's not because you are weak. It's because they are blind to your strength. Diamonds are formed under pressure. Don't run, Adaeze, shine." Those words sank deep. That night, Adaeze wiped her tears, opened her books, and whispered to herself, "They will not laugh forever." From then on, Adaeze changed quietly. She began waking up earlier than everyone else, reading before dawn. She stayed behind after school to ask her teachers questions. She spent her lunch hours in the library. While others gossiped about her, she was solving math problems. While they mocked her accent, she was improving her speech by reading aloud to herself every night. She refused to respond to their insults. She let her silence speak for her. Slowly, her test scores began to rise. First, she ranked 10th in class, then 7th, then 3rd. No one noticed her climb until one morning, the teacher pinned the term's result list on the notice board. At the top of the list, number 1, Adaeze. The hallway went quiet. Students stared in disbelief. "Wait, is that the same Adaeze?" someone asked. "It must be a mistake," another whispered. But it wasn't. Adaeze had quietly become the best in the class. From that day, everything changed. The teachers began to notice her brilliance. They called her to help others solve difficult questions. The same students who used to mock her now approached her for help with assignments. She still spoke with the same accent, but now it sounded confident. Her clothes were still simple, but now people said she looked neat and focused. She didn't brag. She didn't revenge. She simply smiled, helped those who asked, and kept moving forward. Each term, she topped the class again and again, and the nickname Village Girl faded away, replaced with a new one, Genius. 3 years passed like a flash. It was graduation day. The school hall glittered with decorations, gold balloons, smiling parents, proud teachers. The students wore gowns and caps, excited for the big day. Adaeze sat quietly in the front row, clutching her certificate folder. She had worked hard for this moment, but she had no idea what surprise awaited her. The principal walked to the microphone. He cleared his throat, smiling warmly. "This year," he said, "we have seen many brilliant minds, but one student stood out, not just for her intelligence, but for her resilience, humility, and courage. She came from a place where people doubted her, yet she never stopped believing in herself." Ladies and gentlemen, please join me as we honor our best graduating student, Adaeze, the speaker announced proudly. The hall erupted in applause. Parents stood up, clapping. Teachers cheered. Even her old bullies were frozen in their seats, clapping awkwardly, their eyes filled with regret. This is for every student who ever felt not good enough, for every child who cried silently but never gave up. Don't let anyone's laughter silence your dreams. One day, they'll clap for you, Adaeze said, her voice filled with emotion. The hall went silent for a moment, then erupted into a standing ovation. Years later, Adaeze's story became a legend at Crown Heights Secondary School. Teachers told new students, "Work hard like Adaeze." Her picture hung on the honor board with the words, "From mockery to mastery." And those who once bullied her, they learned, they laughed at her every day, but on graduation day, they clapped for her. What Adaeze didn't know was that the applause was only the beginning of a journey that would shake the world. A week after graduation, Adaeze received a call that would change her life forever. Adaeze, I hope you're sitting down. There's something you need to hear. The British Council has reviewed your final exam results, and you've been offered a full scholarship to study at the University of London, the principal said seriously. Tears filled Adaeze's eyes. The same girl who was once mocked for her accent was now packing her bags to study in the same country people used to use to insult her. When the news spread across town, something unexpected happened. Those who once mocked her came to her doorstep, this time not with laughter but with tears. Adaeze, we're sorry. We didn't see your worth. We thought making you small would make us big. Please forgive us, the narrator said gently. Adaeze looked at them quietly for a moment. Then she smiled. I forgave you a long time ago. Your laughter helped me find my strength. Thank you, Adaeze said softly. And so, with faith in her heart and hope in her suitcase, Adaeze boarded a plane to London. In London, she faced new challenges, new culture, new weather, new people. But one thing hadn't changed, her determination. She studied harder than ever, graduating top of her class once again. Her brilliance caught the attention of major companies and investors who saw not just her brain, but her leadership. At just 26, Adaeze started her first tech company in London. By 30, she was named among the top 10 young entrepreneurs in the UK, and by 353, she became a billionaire. But Adaeze never forgot where she came from. She knew what it felt like to be laughed at, mocked, and ignored. So she decided to turn her success into a voice for others. Her foundation began small, visiting schools in Nigeria, talking to students, sharing her story. Soon, it spread across Africa, then the world. When you laugh at someone's pain, you plant shame. When you lift them up, you plant greatness. Let's build schools where kindness is strength, Adaeze said, confidently. Everywhere she went, she told her story. Not to boast, but to remind others that every bullied child could one day become a leader. One day, Adaeze returned to Crown Heights Secondary School, her old school. The same halls, the same classrooms, but everything looked different now. She stood on the assembly ground where she was once humiliated. Now, students gathered just to hear her speak. Years ago, I walked through this gate crying. Today, I walk in smiling, not because I'm rich, but because I rose above hate. To every student listening, don't be the reason someone cries after school. Be the reason someone believes again. Adaeze built more than wealth. She built legacy. She taught the world that you don't need revenge to win, just purpose. She was once the girl they laughed at. Now she's the woman the world stands up for. From laughter to legacy, the story of Adaeze reminds us that no pain is wasted and no dream is too small.